Whew, I'm feeling fabulous today. So this video is about the iPhone short film that I made called Heads or Tails. It took about 3 hours to film, everything was incredibly rushed, and like I said, it was filmed on an iPhone. So things that I love about this film: performances. Both performances were great, especially Livy. Just knocked it out of the park. Fantastic. Really glad we got those. I also like the framing of Livy's shot, that kind of sidelining her, making everything unbalanced. Lots of room on like the far side instead of giving her like looking space towards him. I know some people don't appreciate that, but I think it worked really well. I'm a fan of that. Yes, thank you. It also means that when he walks away, it's like almost feels completely inevitable because there's always been that room for him in that final shot. Great. Good stuff. Problems, because there were many. So this was shot on an iPhone, which is not designed for this kind of work. The frame rate is like proper 24, which is correct for filming this sort of style. ISO was as low as it could possibly be. No noise whatsoever. Great. Shutter speed, way too quick. Because if I did the shutter speed properly at the settings that it's meant to be to get that nice kind of motion blur, everything would have been massively overexposed. You kind of don't really notice, except for in the shots where like things are moving around a lot, like the shot of the coin where everything feels a bit kind of jittery. Aside from Livy's shot, I don't really like how I set up and framed the other shots. The wide shot is really unbalanced. This mid shot favoring her doesn't really cut with anything much. Like, kind of feels a bit pointless. I kind of feel like I shouldn't have gone for an over-the-shoulder at this point. It just doesn't really suit this scene. This opening with the sound of footsteps, I think works pretty well. The reason we did it was because I actually ran out of space on my iPhone before we shot the one extra little pickup shot that we were going to, which was him entering. So I think I made the best of that situation with this little sound-based introduction. Speaking of sound, the bells in the background. Yeah, there's a church nearby that was just constantly ringing bells. Nothing we could do about that, so we just included it. And I put the bells across the whole thing. And I really like how kind of ironic and lonely it makes the ending, because it's kind of like there's a wedding happening and she's just had a breakup. So I really like that irony. Completely unintentional. Just so happened that there was a church ringing bells nearby. So yeah, this video was a lot shorter than any of the other ones in this little series. I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. I'm definitely going to be making more videos about stuff that I've learned from making short films. I might make one about Invite, but Invite still feels a little bit fresh to me. So I think I might want to give it a little bit of distance before I make that video. But if you want any more insights on filmmaking from me, feel free to subscribe. And if you want this video to succeed in the algorithm, give it a like, give it a share. The algorithm is a cruel mistress, and she makes me beg for interactions so that my videos may succeed. Kinky.